Vital Hoops is for the culture.
Peace, everybody. Jumbo. Welcome to the VitalHoopsPodcast. My name is Fernando CARDENAS, aka International XB. I am your host. This is episode number 48. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy new year, 2024. These last few years have gone by very fast for me. You know, they say that's how it goes when you start getting older. I feel like since the pandemic, shit's been moving fast, but overall I'm blessed. I can't complain. I want to wish everybody lots of love, health, purpose, and strength. A lot of strength is necessary these days because, we're going through a lot, globally. There's a lot going on around the world, a lot of oppression. And so we need a lot of strength to combat that, to keep on struggling. So, definitely free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, and free all oppressed people all around the globe. The end of the year was very difficult for many people. I think about my family in Cuba and all my Cuban brothers and sisters. I think about my brothers and sisters in the Congo. I think about my Afro-Palestinians, like I said, my Haitian brothers and sisters. But yeah, all around the globe, it's difficult moments. So just wanted to mention that, for those of you who celebrate Kwanzaa, such as myself, I hope you had a good Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is always a nice moment to get together with your family, to reflect. If you have children, I definitely would encourage you to celebrate Kwanzaa. It's just a good moment to, teach or reinforce certain important values, to our children, and just to get, culturally grounded. It's a good Kwanzaa is a good moment for that, and, to hear the stories from the elder and, when you're with grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever. But even when you're just with your small family, it's a good time to get together and reflect a little bit. So happy Kwanzaa. So yeah, Vital Hoops Podcast. I'm extremely proud. We ended the year on a very strong note with episodes 46 and 47 with Diallo Kenyatta. I'm extremely thankful to Diallo. Shout out to all the new listeners who came, all the new listeners and watchers who came via listening to Diallo's episodes, part 1 and part 2. I definitely encourage you to go check that out if you haven't yet. Ideology is all. On episode 1, we got into Pan-Africanism, we got into African spirituality, and we got into feminism and Africana womanism. And then on episode 2, we started off with veganism. We talked about ecology, the eco side. We spoke about the humankind discussion, quote unquote humankind discussion. We touched on FBA and ADOS. We talked about Afro-Latinos and the N-word. We spoke about Cuba. We spoke about racism in Cuba and a little bit about the situation over there. We spoke about Black solidarity, and we ended up, with culture, which is, extremely important. So like I said, shout out to Diallo and shout out to all the new listeners. I definitely encourage you to check out the Bro Diallo show, Diallo's platform, because he has a lot of great material, a lot of great material. So definitely do that. I also want to encourage you to check out the Indigenous Nightmare podcast. I had the opportunity to be featured on there. We recorded an episode before the end of the year, and it was really dope. We spoke about racism in sports journalism. We spoke about how certain Black athletes aid white hegemony and global imperialism. We also spoke a little bit about the Vital Hoops podcast and how it all began. And we ended that show with a little bit of fun, just talking basketball, talking about the evolution of the game of basketball, talking about some of our favorite players, etc. But yeah, definitely shout out to the Indigenous Nightmare podcast. I'm gonna have the link down in the description. So definitely go check out that episode and subscribe to his channel as well. All right. I want to talk a little bit about, as we begin a new year, I want to talk a little bit about discipline or self-discipline. You know what I mean? That's more self-discipline. Um, so self-discipline is the ability to push yourself forward, stay motivated, and take action, regardless of how you're feeling physically or emotionally. So in today's society where so many people are depressed and so many people, struggle, it seems very difficult. But self-discipline is key. It's key for all of us, no matter what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? If you're a militant, it's definitely important. If you're an athlete, if you're a basketball player, you're not going to get very far without self-discipline. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you do, you got to work at your craft. You know what I'm saying? You have to work for your people, and you need to develop some kind of self-discipline. You're not always going to be motivated. You know what I'm saying? You're not always going to be inspired. But in order to have discipline, to have self-discipline, you definitely need to try to keep yourself inspired as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Find little things that inspire you. And you have to really know what you want. You have to picture it. You have to picture it. You have to know what you want. And you have to be consistent. And that's the key to having self-discipline. To developing self-discipline is being consistent. You can't always do it all, but you can do a little bit every day, all the time, in order to get better and in order to develop good habits, to have self-discipline, right? So by changing little habits in your daily lifestyle, changing little habits little by little, you know what I'm saying, and being consistent with these changes, that's how you're going to be able to develop self-discipline and become better at whatever it is that you want to be or do, you know what I'm saying, or accomplish. But like I said, the key is consistency. So it's definitely something to work on, something to get better at, and something to think about. One of the things I encourage for self-discipline is also meditation, because meditation helps us be grounded. It helps us reflect. It helps us understand who we are, where we are and where it is that we want to go. And from there, we may be able to develop a certain character that helps us with self-discipline and accomplishing what it is that we want to accomplish. So yeah, self-discipline, something to think about for this year, for a new year, a new beginning, 2024. Vital Hoops Podcast. Like I said, I'm extremely proud of where the platform is at, and we got a lot coming. I really appreciate you all for rocking with the Vital Hoops Podcast. Please continue to support, please like, share, subscribe, leave comments. All of that helps a lot. Sharing it with your friends, putting it on social media, whatever platform it is that you listen or watch this on. We're 100% independent, no sponsors. So we need your support. This is definitely a podcast for the people, for the culture. And like I said, we need your support. So, but I appreciate you all. And all the new listeners, welcome for this new year. The Vital Hoops Podcast is going to be active, very much so. We're going to have more great guests from all around the world, more hoopers, more hip hoppers, more Pan-Africanists, more vegans, just, more dope people all around, and more radical thought. So yeah, thank you. Before I go, I want to leave you all with two things. Now, these two things have changed my life, personally. And you may need self-discipline for these two things, but you may also get it from these two things, right? And these two things I want to leave you with are, first of all, I want to encourage you all to go vegan. Going vegan is going to right away be a positive for your health. Getting away from animal products, from saturated fat, getting away from a lot of this everyday junk food that contains milk powder and cheese and butter and things like that is going to automatically help you feel better. It's going to help you recover faster. is going to help you all around have better health. Obviously, unless you're a vegan that just eats French fries, bread, and Oreos all day. But yeah, going vegan will definitely help you with your health. Going vegan will help the environment, and in today's society and today's world, we have to understand that ecology should be at the center of our struggle. A meat-centric diet destroys the ecosystems, and we need to restore the ecosystem. So we need to go the opposite direction. So that's definitely a key component to going vegan, and just staying away from animal abuse. There's so much fucking oppression going on in the world, so much negativity, that, we don't want to add on to the suffering. And these animals, the meat industry is a nasty industry, that causes a lot of suffering, millions of animals, millions and millions on top of millions of animals that are being, raped, tortured, murdered, so if we can stay away from that, that's always something positive to do. And I promise you, plant-based foods taste good. You just need to learn how to cook them. And it's not that difficult these days. You can learn quick. You go online, you do your research, you start trying new things. And it's definitely one of the best decisions I've made in my life. So yeah, I want to encourage you all to go vegan. Second thing is, I want to encourage you all to join an organization. As I said before, there's so much going on in the world, and we're either part of the problem or part of the solution. And we have to make a decision. And we're not going to save the world by ourselves. But if we join an organization, like I said, it helps us develop a certain discipline. And we got to have a certain discipline in order to join one in the first place. So we go back to self-discipline. But being part of an organization is key. I would definitely encourage you to join an organization that is fighting for either African liberation or an ecological organization. You know what I mean? But definitely a revolutionary organization, an organization that's tackling problems from the root, a radical organization. So yeah, those are just two little things that I wanted to share with you all that I would like for you to try, and let me know. Let me know if you need help. Let me know if you need advice. This is what the Vital Hoops podcast is about. So I'm also going to have the website of the organization that I work with down there if you're interested in checking it out. Panafrican Ligue, UMOJA. And so, yeah, like I said, I appreciate you. Please don't hesitate to let us know who you would like to see on the show. Any positive or constructive criticism is welcome. And self-discipline. Self-discipline is key. Vital Hoops is for the culture. Uhuru.